In this video, we have got a 100 plus kill game on Underground Conquest with the M1897 shotgun, the first shotgun you unlock from the support class. Stick around in this video. In just a moment, I'm going to explain and show you the specializations, why I choose what I choose, and then we'll get into the pros and cons of the gun, this game in particular, what I'm doing to be able to find and get the most amount of kills with this weapon. And yeah, we'll go from there and explain some, obviously, in-game clips on screen. So let's have a look at the specializations. You can see with 3 right and 1 left, which includes quick aim, slugs, solid slug, and bayonet. So of course, from the specializations, you can see we're basically going for the route of turning it into a mini sniper using the slug rounds instead of the buckshot. And the first specialization on the right, which is quick aim, is very important because this gun, when you have slug rounds, on any shotgun, when you have slug rounds, it's very hard and almost impossible to be accurate using hip fire. Because obviously you haven't got the circle, you've got the 4 dots as the crosshairs there, as you can see, and it is very hard to hit. Hence why you have that first specialization on the right to be able to aim in. You need to always aim in when you're running and gunning with this and shooting at any range to be accurate and to obviously hit the target. The good thing with this is the damage model is pretty consistent compared to using buckshot, where you might be standing completely point blank close range, hit the enemy, and you know sometimes you'll just get like 10 damage or 20 damage, and then of course you'll die. With this, if you hit your shot, you pretty much know the amount of damage which you're going to get. So quick aim is obviously the first important specialization to have on any buckshot, or any slug round shotgun. The next 2 specializations on the right, of course, are choosing the slug rounds, with the third option increasing headshot damage by 25%. This is, you have to choose both of these if you're going to go down the right route, because the second and third specialization you've always got to choose the same 2 in a row. So the right side again is choosing the slug rounds, and the benefit with this, again, you can use it like a sniper, and I'd say the M1897 is the best shotgun in the game to choose and have the slug rounds on, because it's got pretty much the best bullet velocity out of any of the shotguns when using this specialization option, when using the slugs. And it's also got probably the longest one-shot kill headshot distance. I think 50 to 75 meters potentially, I think it is, using the slugs on this, with again minimal drop at those ranges. When using any of the other shotguns with the slug rounds, it's a lot harder to use and to master, and you kind of only want to use those in close range, at which point you might as well just stick with buckshot. And finally, of course, the final specialization on the bottom left is going to be the bayonet, which is very useful when you've got a slow reloading, only 5-round shotgun. Of course, you can use this gun now at medium ranges, and as you've seen me do a lot, you can use cover to lean around and pick off headshots with it. So, reloading does become less of a problem with a slow fire rate shotgun because you're further distance away from the enemy. So you're not going to get caught out in close range so often. But when you do run out of ammo and you can hear an enemy that's pushing you, or you've got an enemy close to you, you can obviously use the bayonet to charge in and get that final kill on those group of enemies which you're engaging with. So again, the bayonet, just a good option to have for that last specialization. Overall, this is a very difficult gun to practice, to master, and to get used to. If you do use it for a good few hours, a day, 2 days, or even up to a week, you will become very proficient and very good with it. I have hit probably 3, 4, 5 plus 100 kill games with this. I've hit multiple on Underground, and I've also had one on Devastation. There is a video there for that one on the channel, as well as there's definitely another one on the channel on Underground with this, which you can see, which has probably more long-range engagements with headshots in. But yes, it's a very difficult gun to master, but when you get used to it, it becomes one of the better shotguns in the game because it's versatile, being able to be used for headshots, and obviously not long range, but your close range, you've got medium range ability with it. There is no scope glint, so if you're engaging any enemy snipers at those medium ranges, then they're not going to know or see you straight away when you're aiming in, because you're not going to have scope glint. So that's one of the positives of using effectively like a sniper round shotgun when it's not a sniper with a scope. The main disadvantages which come with this weapon is obviously going to be a slower reload time, only 5 rounds. Hip fire ability is pretty much gone when changing and using the slug rounds. And the main sort of key difficult thing is, when you're playing at or shooting at targets from medium range, it's very hard to be accurate, which is why I say it takes a long time to get used to. You literally can spend 5 rounds, your entire clip, your entire magazine, all your ammo on one target and not get a kill, even if it looks like your sight is on target. It's a very difficult gun to get used to, and it's at these medium ranges where I am now. You've got to be consistent hitting headshots or 2 body shots, otherwise you're pretty much dead. But again, practice makes perfect. The main difficult thing when using this gun is knowing when to, of course, stand still, use cover and go for headshots, or to then run and gun and of course aim in and use it like a normal shotgun. When you're at key choke points where there's a lot of, for example, the windows which are on B flag, and it's very hard to push up onto, even if you're using a shotgun or a meta weapon like a ZK or a Type 2A, whatever, or even one of the more meta OP shotguns, you need to understand when there's choke points to be able to use cover, like you saw earlier in the video where I got multiple headshots just leaning around the corner aiming up the stairs, rather than the typical shotgun user who's going to just push up the stairs, probably take out 1 or 2 enemies and then die. And then of course you'll find times like this where you can push forward, get onto a flag and get more kills close range. So that's the sort of, it's like knowing when to rotate based on flags in the map. You need to know with this when is the right time, when is the right position to run and be aggressive, or to use it at range. If we look at this clip here, for the last probably 20 seconds and for the next 10 seconds or so, you can see I've pretty much just stayed and held this position on the right. We've got A and B flag. The enemies are all spawning at C and pushing to the middle of the map. There's no point in me running out, trying to get onto C flag to be at those close ranges, because you can see there's just swarms of enemies spawning. So that's, again, using the slug rounds, I'm allowed and I'm able to stay at this desirable distance. Otherwise, you basically have no choice. If you're using buckshot, you'd have to just run out to try and get to C, and most of the time you will just die. A very positive thing here, you can see the impact grenade on the support class, as always, is extremely useful, but especially when using the slug rounds on this gun. It kind of works like the 1-2 with when you play in the scout class with a bolt action sniper, where an enemy's pushing you, you hit a sniper shot, and then you switch to your pistol and use 1 or 2 rounds to finish them off. The impact grenade kind of helps you in that way on this class, where you can get a good chunk of damage on the enemies with an impact grenade, and then switch to your sidearm or the shotgun to finish them off. But yeah, that's the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.